Hey, Stoic warriors, listen closely. You've been fighting so long, you've forgotten what stillness feels like. You wake up with a clenched jaw, heart pounding, mind spiraling, body stiff with tension. You're already at war before your feet even touch the ground. You push, you grind, you chase, believing that if you just dig deeper, fight harder, force your will, life will finally submit. But does it? No. The harder you grip, the more it slips. The tighter you hold, the stronger the resistance. You've felt it. That suffocating weight in your chest, the fire that drains your bones, the frustration that claws at you, never letting go. You've been sprinting uphill, fighting against a storm in your mind, trying to bend the world to your will. And for what? More pain, more struggle, more doors slamming shut just when you think you're on the edge of breaking through. But what if I told you, you've been playing it all wrong? The men who move mountains don't charge at them head first. The ones who command real power don't scream for it. The kings, the legends, the men who walk into a room and shift the air, they don't chase, they don't beg, they don't force, they don't fight wars that don't need to be fought. They let go, not in weakness, in immense power. Because true power isn't in the push, it's in the pause. It's in the silence between the strikes, the breath between the chaos. In that still moment when every other man is thrashing, desperate, demanding, and you stand there, still, unmoved, a storm raging inside, yet your body doesn't tremble. A presence so undeniable, the world bends around you. The world bends for the man who doesn't chase it. And today, I'm giving you 5 lessons that will tear the desperation from your soul and replace it with something unshakable. These aren't just lessons, they're transformations. A new way of being, a way that can never be unlearned. Before we dive in, hit that like button, subscribe, and if this strikes a chord deep within you, drop a comment below with "Master your stillness." Let the world see what you're ready to become. Now, let's begin. Number 1. Tension pushes what you want away. The harder you grip, the more it slips. The more you chase, the faster it runs. That job, that woman, that victory, it's all the same. The moment you start needing it too much, you crush it in your hands. You don't pull it in, you push it away. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. You are your own worst enemy. Your desperation shackles you. You suffer not because what you want is out of reach, but because you believe you are incomplete without it. That belief makes you weak. It makes your hands tremble, your voice crack, your energy frantic, and the world can smell it. People feel that tension, that silent scream of insecurity in your posture, in your laugh, in the way your eyes dart around the room, searching for approval. You try too hard, you want it too much, and that makes them pull away. Ever seen a man crash and burn on a date? He over-explains, laughs too hard at jokes that aren't funny, clings to every word she says like a drowning man grasping for air. She doesn't even have to think. Her instincts scream, run. Not because he's unworthy, not because he's a bad man, but because his energy reeks of lack. And nothing is more repelling than a man who doesn't own himself. Life works the same way. Scarcity repels, stillness attracts. The Stoics knew this. Power belongs to the man who controls himself. The man who doesn't need to chase because he knows who he is. Look at nature. The river does not chase the ocean. It flows to it. The wind does not plead with the trees to sway. It moves and they follow. Women, money, success, influence. These things are not won by grasping, by clinging, by begging. They are drawn in by presence, by power, by a man who stands firm, unshaken, as if the whole world could burn around him, and he would still be enough. A lion doesn't plead to be feared. A king doesn't ask for respect. The moment you stop chasing, the moment you let go of desperate wanting, the moment you become the gravity that pulls everything in, that's when the world bends in your favor. Relax. Let things come to you. Move like you already belong. Speak like you already know. Walk like the world is yours. Because when you stop needing, you start attracting. Number 2. Control is an illusion. You think you're in control, don't you? You've built a fortress around yourself, thinking you can dictate every turn, every moment. But here's the ugly truth you don't want to hear. Control is a lie. It's a trap. You've been sold a vision of life that's neat, clean, and orderly. But the world is chaos. Life is savage, untamed, and relentless. The more you cling to control, the more it slips away, and the tighter you grip it, the deeper you bury yourself in fear and frustration. Seneca, that brilliant Stoic mind, told us, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." You're drowning in your own imagination, drowning in the endless need to bend life to your will. You build walls in your mind, fighting the current, controlling what's beyond your reach, losing your peace in a battle that was never yours to win. And all the while, you're losing yourself. Imagine a river. The river doesn't force its path. It doesn't rage against the rocks. It doesn't scream into the sky, demanding the world shape itself according to its whims. No, the river simply flows. It bends, it adapts, it moves effortlessly around every obstacle, knowing that it will always find its way to the ocean, no matter how many boulders or storms stand in its way. There's no panic, no struggle. It understands something you don't. Control isn't power. Flow is. Flexibility is strength. The river doesn't waste energy fighting the impossible. It moves with grace, with purpose, with relentless trust in the journey. Meanwhile, you're here, drowning in your own battles, building dam walls in every direction, trying to fight nature itself. You exhaust yourself. And for what? The same wild current you're fighting is the very thing that could carry you forward with ease. But you're too busy wrestling with it, trying to beat it into submission. The more you fight, the more you lose, the more you strain, the more you suffer. You're not gaining control, you're losing yourself. Seneca spoke again. He who is brave is free. And that's where the real power lies, not in trying to control everything around you, but in having the bravery to let go, to surrender to the flow of life, to trust that what's beyond your control is beyond your power for a reason. The more you fight reality, the more you lose your freedom. You lock yourself in chains. You think you're controlling your destiny, but all you're doing is suffocating your soul. The man who accepts the uncontrollable, who surrenders to life's rawness, is the one who walks through this world with real power. This man doesn't waste time on stress or fear. He doesn't waste his life on worry. He adapts, he flows. He knows when to step forward, when to pull back, and when to trust the path beneath his feet. He's not at war with life. He's moving through it with power and peace, knowing that his energy is spent on what truly matters, his response, his actions, his focus. The man who resists reality, who refuses to bend, who insists that life must conform to his will, he's the one who will burn out. He will crack under the pressure. He will feel the weight of every expectation, every rigid rule, every force he tries to control, and it will break him. You're standing at a crossroads, right now. The question isn't whether you'll face hardship, it's how you will face it. Will you fight the current, push against the flow, and drown in frustration? Or will you trust the river? Will you surrender your need to control and allow yourself to flow, to bend with life, to adapt and move forward with unshakable strength? Seneca wrote, "It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Every moment you spend fighting what's beyond your control is a moment you'll never get back. Every ounce of energy you waste on trying to bend the world to your will is energy you could have spent on something far more meaningful, on your peace, your growth, your freedom. The river doesn't fight the current, it becomes one with it. It doesn't force the world into its shape. It lets life unfold as it will, trusting that it will always find its way. It's powerful, it's free, and it's unshakable. You want that same power? You want that same freedom? Let go. Accept what you cannot control. Flow with life. Move with purpose, not resistance. The choice is yours, to keep fighting an unwinnable war or to trust the river and flow toward your future with everything you have. Number 3. The mind is your worst enemy if you let it be. Overthinking is the silent killer of dreams. It creeps in, wraps its cold fingers around your potential, and suffocates it without you even noticing. You sit there, stuck in your head, replaying the same doubts, the same fears, the same what-ifs that never actually happen. Your mind becomes a prison, a place where you're trapped by illusions, fighting battles that aren't real. And the worst part? You're the one locking yourself inside. What's more dangerous than failure? It's not what happens to you, it's the endless loop of fear you've allowed to consume you. Failure can teach you something, make you stronger. But the chaos of overthinking, that leaves you paralyzed, unable to act, unable to move forward. It's the slow death of every possibility you ever had. The mind is your worst enemy if you let it be. Every second you spend lost in thoughts that don't serve you, you give away your power. You're trapped in a war that's all in your head, and no one's coming to rescue you. But here's the truth. You can break free, and when you do, you will realize that the real battle has always been inside you. It's the fight for your own mind. Look at the fighters before the match. The weak ones are already beaten. They're tangled in the chaos of their thoughts, imagining failure before they even step into the ring. They're filled with doubt, worry, fear. They're suffocating in their own insecurities. But the strong ones, they stand tall. They've trained their minds to be silent, to focus, to stay present. Their power is in their ability to shut off the noise and hone in on what's in front of them. Because they know, deep down, that if they can master the chaos inside, they can conquer anything that comes their way. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And that's the essence of it all. The mind is either a weapon that propels you forward or a prison that holds you back. There's no in-between. When you let your mind run wild, it drags you into the past and the future, both places you can't control. But when you take charge of it, you ground yourself in the present, where everything happens. That's where you have the power to change things. Think about it. Your mind is like a wild stallion. If you let it roam free without control, it will scatter, destroy, and take you off course. But when you tame it, when you ride it with purpose, it becomes your greatest ally. Your mind is the key to every victory, every leap forward, every success. But if you let it be a runaway train of doubt, fear, and distraction, it will sabotage you at every turn. You've heard the phrase, "What you think, you become." But what if that's more than just a cliché? What if it's the most powerful truth of your life? Every thought you allow to linger in your mind becomes a part of your reality. Every fear you feed, every doubt you entertain, every negative thought you let sit in your head chips away at who you're meant to be. And if you let it go on long enough, it becomes your reality. Do you want that? Do you want your dreams to drown in your own mind? Or do you want to stand tall, silent the noise, and rise above? The choice is yours. It always has been. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only goal worth pursuing, and the only way to experience that freedom is to take control of the storm inside you. Stop letting your mind control you. Stop letting it chain you to doubts that aren't even yours. You have to break the chains, silence the chaos, and stand firm in your power. You want to manifest your best life. You want to be unstoppable. It starts in the mind. It starts with cutting through the noise, rejecting the lies, and taking control of the stories you tell yourself. You have to let go of the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of the unknown, and you have to embrace the present moment, because that's where your power lies. Remember this: we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Those are the words of Epictetus, and they hold the key to everything. The mind is not your enemy unless you let it be. You are the one who decides whether it becomes a weapon of power or a prison of despair. You are the one who holds the key. It's time to unlock your mind, to free yourself from the chains of doubt, to silence the noise that holds you back. Take control. It's your life. It's your mind. And it's time to make it work for you. Number 4. Patience separates the weak from the strong. Patience is the divide. The weak sprint for what they want, scrambling like frantic animals, grasping at anything they can hold on to. The strong, they stand like mountains, unmoved by the noise, rooted in something deeper, an unshakable belief in the power of time. Look at the world. The oak doesn't race to grow. It endures the harshest winters, faces storms that threaten to break it, yet still it rises. It doesn't rush. It becomes. It takes its time, understanding that greatness is built through endurance, through waiting in silence, through the stillness that allows it to breathe into its full potential. The lion doesn't chase every prey in sight. It watches. It waits. It moves only when the world aligns in its favor. It seizes the moment with such deadly precision that no one can stop it. That's not a desperate hunt. That's power. That's mastery over time itself. That's the Stoic path. You want success? Stop chasing it. Stop running through life like a madman trying to force your dreams into existence. Build quietly, brick by brick, with the unyielding certainty that what is meant for you will come when you're ready for it. Success is the sum of quiet, relentless actions, not frantic bursts of activity. You want love? Stop begging for it. Become the kind of man who doesn't need to chase it. Let it find you. Let it be drawn to your peace, to your self-mastery. Love fears desperation. It embraces strength, power. It's not something you chase like a dog at its master's feet. It's something you become. When you stop striving and start embodying, that's when the world notices. When you stand tall, not because you forced your way to the top, but because your presence demands respect, without you even trying. That's when you command authority. That's when the world bows to you, not because you've begged for it, but because you deserve it. This world is full of noise, full of distractions that want to pull you in every direction. But the Stoic doesn't bow to the chaos. He doesn't flinch when the storms rage. He knows his worth is not in the instant, but in the eternal. He knows that rushing leads to ruin, and that patience is the highest form of strength. The strong don't move when the world demands it. They move when the moment demands it. They wait. They know. You want greatness? You'll never find it in the rush. You'll never find it in the frantic scramble for more, more, more. It's in the stillness. It's in the patience to withstand the silence. It's in the unwavering belief that your time will come, and when it does, you will strike with such power that no one will ever question your worth again. So stop. Stop running. Let the world spin at its own pace. Your moment is coming, and when it does, you will stand like the oak, unshaken, unstoppable. It will be your time. The universe is waiting for you to become the man you were meant to be. Number 5. The present moment holds everything you need. Your future? Forget the fantasy. It's not a distant promise. It's being forged right now in the fire of this moment. Most people are running away. They're running from the past, haunted by their mistakes, crippled by the weight of regret. They're running from the future, trapped in a never-ending loop of what-ifs and fears. But the ones who rise, the ones who command their lives, are the ones who don't run. They stand still in the chaos of now, anchored in the only thing that matters. The present isn't some passing moment. It's the heartbeat of existence. It's where life happens. This is where you either waste away in regret and fear, or rise and seize everything that's meant for you. The Stoics understood this. They knew that the future is an illusion. The past is a ghost. The only thing that exists is this moment, this breath, this heartbeat, this choice. And when you understand that, when you stop looking to some imaginary tomorrow, you unlock a power so raw, so relentless, it will shake the earth beneath you. Right now is where your strength lies. In this single moment, the power is here, the clarity is here, the opportunity to be who you've always dreamed of is here. It's all here, but you must be fully, utterly present. Stop waiting for life to fall into your lap. Stop praying for a sign. Stop fantasizing about your perfect future. Life isn't waiting for you to get ready. It's happening right now. You want more from life? Want to break through that wall? Want to stop living in the shadows of what was and what might be? You've got to wake up and live right now. Every second you waste, every second you spend regretting the past or fearing the future is a second stolen from your potential. The Stoics weren't waiting for some moment to arrive. They didn't wait for tomorrow to change their lives. They changed it today. They knew the only thing within their power was this moment, and that's where they poured their energy, their focus, their very soul. What do you think you're waiting for? The stars to align? The world to bend to your will? The future to finally show up? No, it's here. It's right here, in front of you, in your hands, in your breath. You are the one who must rise and act. The truth is, life is cruel to those who wait. It's ruthless to those who sit idle, who let time slip through their fingers. The ones who suffer are the ones who believe they'll get their moment later. No, the time is now. The power is now. The opportunity is now. The present moment is not some small, insignificant piece of time. It is the battlefield. It is where warriors are made, where dreams are forged, where strength is born. This is the place where you either rise from the ashes or become consumed by them. This is where the fire of your potential is ignited and the ashes of your limitations are left behind. You want greatness? You want to be someone who stands tall, who commands respect, who moves with purpose. The time isn't later, it's now. So, step into it. Embrace it, feel it. Let it burn through your veins and ignite the fire within you. Stop looking outside yourself for answers. Stop chasing illusions. The only thing that matters is this moment. This is where everything begins, and it's where you decide to rise or fall. What will you choose? Relaxing isn't about sitting back, zoning out, or doing nothing. It's about mastering yourself so deeply that life bends to your will. It's about knowing you are the force behind your actions and trusting your power, not seeking approval or validation from anyone. Most people are caught in the chaos, rushing, desperate, frantic, always seeking the next fix, the next win, the next opinion. They've never learned what it means to be truly at peace, to stand firm in their own power. But you're different. You move with purpose. You carry yourself like a man who already has everything because you know the secret. The real power comes not from chasing, but from being. This is where Stoicism meets real life. The Stoics understood that we don't control the world around us, but we control our reactions. Life throws storms, hardships, distractions, but you've learned that what matters most is how you respond. Instead of running, grasping, or fighting the current, you've learned to flow with it, knowing your strength lies not in controlling everything, but in controlling yourself. The frantic hustle, the constant worry, the endless chase, those are distractions for the weak, the ones who've never understood the power of inner peace. Relaxation isn't about stopping. It's about being still while the world rushes. It's about holding the center in a world that's constantly spinning. Like a true Stoic, you've realized that tranquility comes from within, from knowing who you are and not needing anything outside of that to define you. If this hit you deep, if you felt the weight of those words, don't just sit there. Take action. Hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. Let me know which part of this shook you, because this is how you stand tall like a man, with control, purpose, and power. This is how you take back what's yours, one step at a time.